Losing teams complain. They moan to the cameras, they blame the referee, and they go home. What they don't usually do is file formal legal paperwork. But less than 24 hours after crashing out of the World Cup to Argentina in the most controversial match of the entire tournament, the Egyptian Football Association did exactly that. They lodged an official, formal complaint with FIFA, demanding a full investigation and requesting something almost unheard of: that the referee and his entire officiating team be thrown out of the rest of the World Cup. This isn't just a sulk. This is a national federation dragging the world's biggest sporting body in front of its own tribunal and publicly declaring that the game was rigged. And here is the part that should make FIFA sweat. There is no clean way out of this. None. The language in Egypt's statement is heavy. Their federation declared it could no longer remain silent over the failure to properly use the video assistant referee system, stating that key incidents raised profound questions about the consistency and fairness of decisions that directly changed the game. Egyptian President Hani Aborita personally accused French referee François Letixier of applying a double standard that cost the Egyptian team the match, formally telling FIFA to get him out of the tournament. Egypt is not standing alone with a wild accusation. They are backed by a wall of neutral, respected football voices who watched the exact same thing. Let's look at what actually happened. With Egypt leading 1-0, Zico finished off a gorgeous 80-yard move to make it 2-0. Suddenly, VAR rewound nearly 20 seconds to the opposite end of the pitch to find a minor shirt tug and a stepped-on toe by Marwan Aisha, deleting the goal. Yet in stoppage time with the score level, when Egypt screamed for a penalty after a shirt pull on Hamdi Fathi and a tangle involving Mohamed Salah, VAR didn't even recommend a look. Argentina broke straight up the other end and scored the winner. Independent experts have weighed in fiercely. Rob Green stated that the disallowed goal simply wasn't within VAR's realm due to the distance of the foul. Alan Shearer pointed out the blatant contradiction. Either both are fouls or neither is. Ian Wright and Jamie Carragher agreed that if you pull the play back to disallow Egypt's goal, you must pull it back for the Salah incident too. German referee Patrick Ittrich flatly stated that the late appeal was a clear penalty, noting that every single contentious call went against Egypt. When that many neutral experts point at the same decisions, a federation stops looking hysterical and starts looking like it has a bulletproof case. This has become the most complained about World Cup in recent memory, and Egypt's protest landed on a desk already buried under grievances. Belgium filed a complaint over a red card reversal. Ecuador protested after their hotel was besieged by fans. Iran filed a protest over oppressive travel restrictions across borders. 4 different nations, 4 different grievances, all pointing at the exact same governing body. This is no longer a run of bad luck. It is a systemic pattern. Sitting underneath all of this is a scandal that already blew the doors off FIFA's credibility. A phone call where a red card suspension was quietly overturned using a clause never before invoked at a World Cup. Every controversy since has fallen into the crater left by that decision. Egypt's coach, Hassam Hassan, and forward, Zico, openly declared the tournament rigged to keep Lionel Messi in the competition. Whether you believe the conspiracy or not, the accusation itself is a full-blown crisis. FIFA knew they couldn't ignore this. Chief Refereeing Officer Pierluigi Collina broke cover with a swift response. But he didn't open an inquiry or express concern. He came out swinging in defense. He asserted that unfounded allegations have no place in the sport and that nobody can question the integrity of World Cup officials. He then individually defended both disputed decisions, frame by frame, to explain why the referee was right both times. But notice the glaring contradiction. Collina began by stating that FIFA prefers not to focus on specific incidents during a competition, and then proceeded to spend the rest of his statement doing exactly that. He essentially re-refereed the match in Argentina's favor via a press release. To be fair, by the cold letter of the law, Collina has a technical case. Stepping on a foot is a foul, and the rules don't set a distance limit on how far back VAR can go. The Salah tangle could arguably be called normal contact. Furthermore, referees face vile online abuse, and nothing justifies threatening their families. It is entirely possible that FIFA applied an inconsistent rulebook inconsistently, rather than fixing a match. After all, Egypt was up 2-0 with 11 minutes to go and failed to hold on. No referee forced them to miss their markers or let Messi's volley fly in. Part of this they did to themselves. But here is the absolute trap for FIFA. Whatever they do next, they lose. If FIFA clears the officials, which Collina has already practically done, it looks like the exact cover-up everyone expects from an organization that just bent its own rules a week ago. Nobody will believe the referees are independent. But if FIFA sides with Egypt and quietly removes Lionel and his crew, it becomes a tacit admission of guilt. It validates every single rigged accusation, proving that a World Cup quarterfinalist advanced on indefensible decisions. There is no third option that rebuilds trust, because the trust is already completely gone. Watch how this plays out on the team sheets. Officials for the quarterfinals are announced just a day or two before kickoff. If Lionel's name simply vanishes from the remaining assignments, we will have our answer. A silent disappearance. The classic way an organization admits fault without ever saying it out loud. Meanwhile, the rebellion keeps feeding itself because FIFA cannot stop handing its critics ammunition. In the exact same week they are accused of favoring Argentina, FIFA appointed an entirely Argentine officiating team for the France versus Morocco quarterfinal. You genuinely could not script it. It makes the suspicion look less like a conspiracy and more like a running joke. And a joke about integrity is worse for a governing body than a scandal, because you can investigate an incident, but you cannot investigate a punchline. Ultimately, Egypt flies home after the greatest World Cup campaign in their history. Their first tournament win, their first group stage progression, and their first knockout victory. Yet it ends with a permanent, burning conviction that their biggest moment was stolen by a monitor and a double standard. For a football-obsessed, 7-time African champion nation that had spent decades leaving World Cups empty-handed, this was supposed to be the tournament that rewrote history. To be denied a historic quarterfinal not by a better team, but by a finish half the planet finds suspicious, is a lasting kind of heartbreak. Argentina marches on to face Switzerland, their captain crying tears of relief while a rival nation cries tears of injustice. And FIFA sits trapped in the middle, holding a formal legal complaint they cannot honestly answer without indicting either their officials or themselves. Egypt didn't just protest a defeat. They put the credibility of the entire tournament on the record in writing and dared FIFA to respond. No matter what happens next, the governing body is walking out of this tournament covered in mud.